Hey there, everybody. Thank you for watching. As always, I really do appreciate it. This is part 3 of my photography room project. At the end of part 2, I went through a quick dry run assembly of the main bed frame on the floor of my shop, just to make sure everything fit together the way I hoped that it would. And here's the room, the storage room, everything's gonna go. Went ahead and painted that back wall a poppy seed blue. They called it poppy seed, not that bright blue that I actually use in our downstairs office. And then went on to the hardware for the Murphy bed frame. Here I am attaching the main supports to the sides of the frame before I go ahead and put the main bed frame together up in the room. All right, so I now have the Murphy bed box, that main box, installed, attached to the wall. I have the Murphy bed hardware put together and installed, and the bed now is up and out of the way. So now what I have to work on, these are the bottom panels. This is where I'm gonna make that infrastructure for primarily the drop front desk, but also perhaps attach some pictures and whatnot to the bottom when the bed is up and out of the way. So now what I need to do is lay out that infrastructure on these bottom panels. I decided, there's like those 4 almost square boxes that make up that infrastructure and leave the hole for the drop front desk. And then those 2 narrow boxes, I'm gonna make those boxes independent and then just attach them here to the bottom panels. I think that's gonna be the easiest way to do it. And those are just temporary handles I'll take off. I put these on just so I could handle and maneuver the panels and fit them and make sure they fit on the bottom of the bed and whatnot. So I'm gonna take those off and lay things out in the world. So I have finished making all of those plywood squares and rectangles. And I use basically dominoes to attach them to one another to form the squares and rectangles, and use pocket screws. You can see a bunch of pocket screws to both assemble these squares and also attach them to the bottom of these, or to the door panels that go to the bottom of the bed. So today what I want to do basically is get these installed onto the bed frame. And that, I think, is going to be about it for this part of the project. I'm going to wait until I get to making the base cabinets and shelves before I trim this out. And when I get to the base cabinets, when I start doing cabinet doors, is when I'll actually do the drop front desk, because basically the drop front desk is just a big cabinet door that opens horizontally. So what I have to do now is I need to attach these hooks. These came with the Murphy bed kit. These go on the back of these door panels, and they allow me to kind of hang these on the door frame and then adjust them. And once I get them lined up and in place, there's longer screws that go through the bed frame to attach these permanently. So that's what I'm going to work on today. And then after that, it's onto the base cabinets. I already had a couple of clips installed. Those were already on there. That's when I was first fitting the panels to make sure I cut the primary plywood pieces to shape. And then I marked on the sides here where the other hooks need to go. Since I know those were in the right place, I just need to transfer these lines across the back of the panels. My seeing eyeglasses. I was looking for this. Awesome. So here it is, installed. Still have some sanding to do and whatnot before I, prime it and trim it out, and obviously make the drop front desk portion and those top areas for the picture frames and things. But yeah, got it in, and it is attached now permanently to the bottom of the bed frame. Had a little injury there occur during installation, so that's just taped up. Let me open it up so you can take a look. I got to put some sort of more permanent handles on here to get it to work when it's done. But for now, let's see here. It'll make do until it's finished. This is it. I won't jump on it. Well, not bad. Now this is thicker than the recommended mattress that comes with this kit. And like I did with my chair project, I'll have a little recap on lessons learned and whatnot. So I had to modify the bed box a little bit to get it to fit. And likewise, I'm gonna have to do something because this bottom section, I'm sure, would typically hold the mattress as you're pulling it open. This mattress is too thick for that, so I'll have to make up something for that to work more smoothly. You saw a little bump there when I tried to open it up in the beginning. But I'm sure that weight-wise, it's fine. So now, I'm gonna take some of this junk out of here and next work on that corner cabinet. Now we're talking. All right. Hey, all right. All right, so today I'm going to be working on. All right, so today I'm going to be working on this corner cabinet. And one thing I have to keep reminding myself of with this project is that I get so close to the drawings and whatnot, and whenever I go up in the room or look at the measurements, I'm reminded it's not a large room. So these cabinets aren't large. Just, I don't know why I mentioned that. I just have to keep reminding myself of that as I'm working. But anyway, today the corner cabinet is what I'm gonna build, and I've already cut the top and bottom pieces for the cabinet. And I've also cut the sides, at least the sides that face the adjacent cabinets. And I'm gonna go ahead, I've got my track saw lined up here. I'm gonna go ahead and cut off this front piece. And also, this is a reminder for myself to cut off this back corner, just so that if that corner of the room isn't square, I don't have a problem fitting the cabinet in there. So I'm gonna cut off some of the back here. And since what I'm gonna add to this cabinet is a Lazy Susan. Because again, I thought when I made this, my original plan, when I made this, or had the idea for this room, is that perhaps I could use this corner cabinet to stick like my camera bags in, or I have a travel camera, like a rolling bag and whatnot. It ain't gonna fit in this door. So this corner cabinet's gonna be for like smaller items, batteries and things like that. So I'm not reaching in there trying to find it. I figured a Lazy Susan's a good idea. So putting a Lazy Susan in here. So the way I'm gonna make the cabinet then is I'm going to use dominoes to make up the four sides of the cabinet, just so I can put together an open box. So I'm going to cut these sides, have them cut together. I'm going to put the sides that face adjacent cabinets on with dominoes. That way I'll have an open box to work with to get the Lazy Susan in. And I'm going to dado the back sides that face the wall to then, after the Lazy Susan is installed, I can attach the back pieces. Okay, so I need to take out the regular saw blade in my table saw and put in the dado set to cut the rabbet, not dado, I kept calling it a dado. I get dado and rabbit confused all the time. To cut the rabbet on the top and bottom insides of the corner cabinet, so I can install those sides that face the wall after the Lazy Susan goes in. But I thought I would include this section for those of you who, maybe woodworkers interested in woodworking who don't own a saw stop. I thought I would include this piece of video of me taking out the blade to put in the dado set to make the cut. Thought it might be of interest to you. So anyway, I'll move the splitter and take the regular blade out, because in addition to the blade, I need to also install this dado cartridge and take out the one that is in it right now that enables the safety feature for the regular blade. And try really hard not to drop that nut down in the chute. So here is that cartridge, if I can get it out. And if you ever do get a saw stop, I would suggest buying an extra one of these and keeping it handy, because if you ever need it and it goes off, you don't want to have to stop everything you're doing and wait to get one in the mail or go out to someplace and try to find one, because that happened to me. Nothing here, my fingers are fine, but I was using this cross-cut fence, doing a bunch of things, getting distracted, and forgot to adjust it when I should have, put it that way. And what ended up happening, I don't know if you can see it or not. Let's see, get it in focus. That little nick occurred when the blade hit my cross-cut fence, which caused this to happen. And yes, it scared the crap out of me. You know you have this feature, and I bought it for that reason. If I can get it in focus. But man, it happens fast. Again, it wasn't my finger, but it sat, and the instructions will tell you through the process to get it the user manual for the saw will tell you how to reset it and whatnot. But anyway, it works. So yeah, I'm not going to try it on my finger still, but this thing does set very fast because, again, it only got that far of a nick before the cartridge set. Again, I'm never going to test it on purpose, but this was reassuring to see. So anyway, when that happened, after I changed my underwear, I went and got my other cartridge, which isn't this, and kept working. So, FYI, keep an extra one, because I do it. And when that set, and I put that one in, I went out and bought another one, which is over there in my in my cabinet, in case I need it. So. Okay, so now let me put the dado safety cartridge in. And if anyone's wondering, you cannot use the saw with the regular cartridge in with the dado set. I tried. Will not work, which I guess is a good thing. That's why it's called a safety feature. I'll put the blades in for the rabbit. And this should be good for the plywood. Yeah, that'll work. Try not to drop this thing. There we go. And yes, I wish there were more threads, but get a few revolutions out of it. All right. Now I just gotta get my plywood and set the cut.